Fellow Ambazonians, good afternoon or good evening. Today is Tuesday, September the 8th, 2025. I would like to bring to you these points of introspection. I want to share with you these points of introspection. I've been thinking lately about the word success. What is success? And I looked around and I came up with this meaning. When you know who you are and you know where you are going, and you are making efforts to progressively move towards your objective or your goal, that is what success is. It is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Again, success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea. I would like to underline the word progressive because some of us think that in order to succeed is something that just happens immediately. It has to be progressive. It does not matter how big the ideal may be, as long as you see it as being important enough to be worthy of pursuing. It is an ideal. It does not matter how big it may be or how small it may be. As long as you see it as an ideal that is worth pursuing, it is an objective. And your success towards the attainment of that objective will be determined by a number of factors, which we are going to examine here. So, success does not imply the absence of difficulties or challenges or failures. That is one mistake that many of us make. That in order to succeed, things just have to go smoothly. It is never that easy, especially if the objective you are trying to achieve is important enough. You can rest assured that there will be failures on your path to success. On the contrary, the path to success is always littered with skeletons of failures. If you look at some of the most important achievements in life, you will realize that they did not work from the first attempt. There were several attempts and several failures before ultimately success was achieved. But we will look at the way successful people and unsuccessful people view or have the concept they have of what success is or ought to be. So, in order to succeed, you must be able to set attainable goals. You must be able to set attainable goals. And of course, when you're setting a goal, you have to examine your own abilities. That is why, as stated from the definition above, that you must first of all know who you are, the limits of your ability, whether given your own innate tendencies and skills and talents, you will be able to achieve it. You don't just go out and set an objective which you are not sure to accomplish. When you believe in your ability to achieve a set goal, you don't have to let anyone or anything dissuade you from pursuing that goal. You have to make sure that you stay focused. If you believe in yourself that I have what it takes to achieve this objective, because in life you always have people around you, naysayers, doubters, who will try to discourage you, say to you, are you sure you can do this? Are you really sure? They try to plant doubt in your mind. You have to be able to wave such people aside and focus on your mission. If you are really certain within yourself that it is an attainable objective, then you have to focus on it, no matter what anyone else says. Because you will have naysayers and doubting Thomases who will not be able to see the vision that you have. There will be challenges that will cause you to want to give up, but it is your tenacity that will see you through. Now, there is a difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. And I would like to name a few. Successful people see challenges as steps on the ladder of success. I say again, successful people see challenges as steps on the ladder of success, while unsuccessful people see challenges as a reason to quit or to give up. That is the difference between the two. To be a successful person, you must have a winning attitude. A winning attitude. You must have a winning attitude. You must be able to say to yourself, I am determined and focused. I have to do this. I have to succeed. And then work towards the attainment of that objective. There are certain character traits that differentiate successful people from unsuccessful people. Some of these traits are: 1, attitude. You must have the ability to set or identify an ideal or be able to have a vision. We must understand that a vision is different from what you can see with your eyes. A vision is something that you can see in your mind's eyes. And visions can see further than your eyes can see. Because that's where all concepts start. You have to visualize it. If you cannot visualize it, you cannot achieve it. You must be able to have a vision and be able to cultivate the discipline and seek the resources that will enable you to achieve that vision. Then you have to be determined to achieve it regardless of the difficulties. You have to be determined. There has to be a determination on your part to achieve that vision. Then in order to achieve that vision, one other element that you need is discipline. You have to be disciplined. It's discipline. You have to be disciplined because in the course of seeking to achieve your vision, there will be a lot of distractions. There will be a lot of people who will try to discourage you, who will say, oh, this thing is too hard. Oh, why are you working too hard? Let's just go out and have a beer. Why are you sitting here doing this? Let's just go out and have fun. And they will try to discourage you and say, you are suffering a lot. If you are not determined enough, you are not willing to avoid all the distractions that will tempt you to give up on your vision, you may just give in, and then that dream will never be achieved. It may be because of difficulties, challenges. You tried the first time, it didn't work. You tried the second time, it didn't work. You tried the third time, it didn't work. Maybe you don't have the resources. You have to go out and look for the resources to do it. There will be challenges. But as long as you believe that the vision is worthy of pursuing, that it is important enough, you will have to come up with a mechanism to walk through these challenges and these difficulties and these temptations and these distractions and continue to move towards your vision. When you look at the struggle for the liberation of the Southern Cameroons and Bazonia, a struggle that is founded on justice and an effort to right the wrongs that have been perpetrated against a victimized people of the Southern Cameroons, you will be able to identify the character traits examined above. There are many of these character traits. There are people who have long given up on the quest for the liberation of the Southern Cameroons, despite the fact that they were in on it from the very start. When Ambassadors came out in 2017, there were thousands of people, hundreds of thousands on the streets. But today, the numbers have reduced because of the reasons I'm giving here. The difference between people, successful people and unsuccessful people. Those who thought that, because at the start of the struggle, a lot of Ambassadors believed and still believe in the freedom of the southern Cameroons and Ambazonia. But however, many Ambazonians lacked the attitude of successful people. Many lacked the attitude of successful people. They thought this thing was going to be a walk in the park. You see, they imagined that the struggle was going to be easy, that it will be void of mistakes, that mistakes will not be made, that it will just be a smooth walk. You see, no worthy ideal was ever achieved without challenges or failures, as I've already stated. Many people allow themselves to be distracted by things that were not aligned with the quest for the liberation of the southern Cameroons and Amazonia. Some people started seeking power instead of fighting for the freedom of our homeland. Some people started seeking wealth and money. Some people started seeking fame. Some people started fighting, or some fighters started targeting our civilians or civilian population instead of focusing on pursuing and chasing out the enemy. Some got into kidnapping and ransom taking. These are some of the temptations and distractions that I mentioned above, that differentiate successful people from unsuccessful people. These people had allowed these temptations to blind them to the goal that was established at the start of the struggle, which was the liberation of the southern Cameroons. And as a result, it caused them to stray away from that objective. And that is something that has caused us a lot of trouble. So, if the struggle is still standing today, it is due to the attitude of the few people in the struggle which are aligned with those of successful people. Those who still believe in the vision which we all had in 2017 when Ambazonians came out in their numbers to say in a loud voice that they have come to the end of the road when it comes to our relationship with La République du Cameroon. We have learned from our mistakes. Some are beginning to see and we are beginning to see some of the results of this change of attitude and the focus and discipline that is being demonstrated now. The results are beginning to show. And I believe that, fellow ambassadors, I honestly believe that it is therefore time for us to regroup, including those who, for whatever reason, had felt discouraged. Our freedom is very much attainable as long as we are determined, focused, disciplined, and be willing to learn and improve from our mistakes, and also to demonstrate and to have a no quitting attitude. If we can inculcate or take on these positive traits that successful people have, I can assure you that success will come our way in a very short time. So we must be willing. One other thing is that we must also be willing to sacrifice for the attainment of this objective. We must be willing to sacrifice for the attainment of this ideal. If we can do this, I can assure you that it won't be too long before the flag of Ambazonia is hoisted permanently in Biya, our capital. It is a very much attainable objective. It is not difficult. I know that there are some who are still going hand in hand, licking boots of La République du Cameroon officials. This category of our brothers and sisters are those who simply do not have the vision. They cannot visualize Ambazonia as a free nation. And there is very little we can do to convince them. There's just some people like that in society who just cannot conceptualize or visualize their own freedom. It happened even during the days of slavery. It happened during the American Liberation War. There were some who were fighting on the side of Great Britain against the United States of America. But that did not stop those who were determined to free America. And today, look at where America is. So, those of us who are still determined, focused, disciplined, and still have our eyes on the vision that we had in 2017, let us continue to march towards our freedom. And the rest of our brothers will join us. If we must succeed, then it is imperative that we adopt the attitude of successful people. And that is why I thought I should bring this talk to you, comrades, this evening. So I hope that you listen and appreciate it and share it so that others can listen and maybe learn a thing or two from it. Thank you.
Hey, my dear senior brother, I call her even small uncle, because so I don't want to abuse your authority. Thank you very much for your message. One of the things where I be proud of some people they like you so that because they speak truth to a situation. You know, they like one of those way they become disguise, they come because the chicks say they feel for. You cannot force people to burn a flame that is burning them. You cannot. Yes, my brother or my uncle, you cannot force any man to put wood in a flame that is burning them. Never. You chain that man up a chain, you tie iron, you cannot. I be very proud of some of una where the things they will be talk when they complain say will spoil struggle, when I don't start talk that in them. And there's a good reason for you people to say those things. You know why? Because people listen to you more than they do, more than they listen to us. And when I look at you like my uncle or my father, or like somebody that by the grace of this nature would have more common sense than me, and I see people only calling people black legs, agents of La Republique, enablers, without articulating even the things that we are articulating, that these things, there is a problem in these things. I fear for all of us. I completely fear for all of us, because look at the hour on the clock that people are rising up to say people cannot wake up from ground zero and they start killing our own people every day. And when we talk, they call us blacklegs. They tag us all the names in this war, but they don't understand. They don't understand that these things that we are saying are the same things that will bring us down. On a lighter note, I will tell you something. It's not because you believe in something that you can do it. Let me give you an example. Southern Cameroonians, or those people that call themselves Amazonians, if they say today that they want to fly to the moon, no matter how they believe, they will not go to that moon. No matter how they believe, they will not go to that moon. They have not been able to produce salt to feed their people. You understand what I'm saying? They have not been able to produce sodium chloride, common salt. That is a titration process that you just need fire and seawater. They have not been able to produce that. And if they tell you that they will go to the moon, it means that I don't know whether it's your number 10th, 20th, or 50th generation that will be able to go to that moon. Everything in this life has a process. And the better the process, the shorter the time you achieve that thing, because you are working on something. I am very disappointed that after all these insults that you people were insulting people in Sukamif, you in particular, I will not take you out of that lot, because you are the person who used to come and say enablers, you say all those things. You have come back to talk the same language. Means the things that we were in a hole and were seeing and complaining about, you were on the tallest tree in the war. You did not see those things. But you know what? I have grace in the people who come out of darkness to light than those ones who stay in darkness forever. Some people in this Southern Cameroonian thing, or the people who call themselves Amazonians, see, before they know that they are walking in darkness, it will be too late. I yield.
Comrade my footsie, greetings, pa. I don't try find small time for respond to this your audio because you touch on very pertinent point. You see, you and Dr. Ngwambi, there's some people where I respect them so much. In short, the most respectable people the way they dey inside Christian group. You know, I take one very, very serious because I know say wanna be level-headed people. You see, doctor, well, anyway, it's never too late. But sometimes then they way when you stay for too long, where you're supposed to do something, the time where you think say one can do that, it will don't be too late. Because which would the struggle for do now so, or the struggle for survive a boat way they already bust that boat completely. In short, it already they more than halfway sink. So whatsoever way we try for do another try and error, you know, that particular boat it already sink, it already be damaged. So what you do now say if we get for must cross the Atlantic Ocean, now say we get for jump out of that boat, leave the boat you want sink, we'll use different options and get to the shore, figure out way to sink that boat, and then you know build a new boat where it will take us across the Atlantic. Now the solution that. But for things if we survive the old boat or patch and so take cross water, I don't think it'd be very, very risky, and I'm not sure it even be possible because the boat order almost sink. You see, written the way they talk now, so it is sound well for some people that hear them. You see, you drop your audio for a lot of people, they don't react to it. Now because of it, the reality don't set in. In the early days of this struggle, just in short, few months back, some of this talk then they talk the way they talk, and so some of this talk then so it will still be a problem to some people. And even now, it still be a problem to some people. But I understand because some people then doing a slow learner them. One of the biggest thing where it destroyed this struggle, now say, we lie to ourselves. Ambassadors then lie to themselves. You know if you correct a bad habit by reinforcing that bad habit. You know the work so. You know if you correct bad habit by reinforcing it. If all we be don't wake up, they call out the bad things them. If we don't change the situation, the so-called fighter them, if we don't learn good habit, if we don't know so the thing the way they do them bad thing them, the so-called leader the way they instigate these people them, if we don't learn, see the thing is on bad them. But because it will be they pamper these people that ego, the guy and feel see they overget power or the two way they do them, now good thing them, people they judge, they jealous them. But way they fail for understand say that thing the way they do them so, or that ego way they pamper, that ego the way they pamper and so, now a collective destruction for all of us. Even at Tanganji, no man no the way if they say na Southern Cameroon freedom this in no take. Even at Tanganji way they fight against the freedom. The thing I say people they weigh options. It's a very difficult fight. No be fight where you expect say you just dey like an ordinary quarrel where you the quarrel where a woman of house and they wanna understand remain married. No. You want a very complex fight where you get for be very, very calculative. Any mistake it be very fatal where it cause life. Some kind of scientific kind trial and the way there is no room for mistake because one mistake it costs na life. So they need to give chance, they need to give that chance, say, oh, if you try and error. No, there is no either you get them right or you not even do them at all. And so this thing there because we not feel bring back life the way they don't go. If all we collectively be don't be honest, for the talk then so the situation for them better. But look at the time where we wake up for the talk them. We both don't almost sink. We both don't almost sink. There are no consequences for truth. Me some man no ever fool see some consequences and they for truth. When you stand for truth, even that consequences come. Say you talk truth. The consequences of that truth where you talk them, it no ever be fatal pass if you be stand for position for lie. Then they can discover say you the tongue a lie. I never ever see them. have never been honest. The best way if you correct your pikin, now for tell it straight up, say this thing that you are doing, this thing is so you do am so. This thing is not correct. Now bad thing and this way you do am. This thing they no will help you. Even if that pikin no listen for that time, when he will sit back, he face the consequences, he will remember what you don't tell you. Than for the pamper, he go to make it me know say this way they do am. Now writing, and then you expect me change automatically. You know if it change because you already adopt that bad habit. You never see an alternative, you never see an option. But when you start calling out, it starts see things differently. Anyway, what you will do now for re-examine ourselves, re-evaluate ourselves, like we don't talk and say we know the win. Maybe we'll get back to the drawing board, see where we fail, see how we make amends.